31 days into the tournament when we come back after this.
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
So you're just saying that you actually don't mind this extra long tournament, even though we're now 31 days in and we still have, what do we say, a week and a day
We
left?
have 8 days left, yeah. No, it's been all right. It's been lots of football. We've sat through some real shit, but I guess that's part of it. But there's been some good games, though.
Yeah.
Even the games, I think, like any World Cup, the games that you always think are going to be the bangers end up being the boring 0-0s. And then the ones where you're like, I don't even know. I can't even point this country out on a map. I play in another country, I have no idea where it is. Ends up being, one of the best games you've ever seen. So that's what I like about a World Cup. So it's been a lot of that.
Yeah. I can't complain about that.
More teams, the more of those you get.
But I guess the flip side, and like we were saying before, you don't feel like the tournament started until you're 2.5 weeks in.
No.
And you start to get down to at least the round of 32, which is new to the tournament as
Mhm.
well, right? So
Even the round of 32 felt
long.
there wasn't a lot of excitement in that one, I don't think. It's only been in the last week, really, that it's felt like the World Cup's sort of kicked in, but the jeopardy's kicked in, especially as being an England fan. That Mexico game, it felt like the build up to that and the aftermath of that has felt like the World Cup's finally started. So that was a huge game.
Yeah, it was almost like the beginning of the tournament, because all the top tier teams are playing the low end teams, like we were saying.
Yeah.
The only part that was nice was the teams that were at the bottom that you didn't expect anything from were actually doing not bad.
Mhm.
There's a couple. There's some that are still getting just killed, like Qatar, but like Cape Verde.
Yep. Congo, they
Right.
did better than most. Ghana did better than they probably should have. I mean, look at Canada. Canada got
Yeah.
to the round of 16, right? Like no one was expecting that.
I feel like the African teams all did extremely well
Mhm.
for the most part. So it's good to see people that you don't normally see as well, right? Especially since we only follow the Euros, we don't follow like the
Yeah.
African Cup of Nations or even like the South American tournament either, right? So
Yeah. But some of them have definitely been a surprise, even though there might have been a few in there where you thought, yeah, they're better than you thought.
Mhm.
We don't always know. You're right. Like some of these South American teams as well, these smaller nations, just like what they can do. And a couple of them proved it. I think a couple of them, I put Canada in this too. Like I think Canada really is cemented itself as a team that belongs in a tournament like this.
we talked a little bit last week when we were watching England, just at Keith's house there, and I figure we may as well talk about it now. What's your relationship with the World Cup? Like, what's the first World Cup that you really remember growing up?
So I remember the Hand of God from '86. Just that though, because I remember how outraged everyone was, and it was everywhere. And I would have been 7 when that was on. So like, I don't have a great memory of it. My favorite players was and always will be for England was Gary Lineker, and that was kind of his big. He scored. I think got the golden boot in that World Cup. So I remember bits and pieces of it because of that. But 90, Italia 90 was huge. England made the semis, got knocked down penalties in like a heroic display against West Germany at the time. Sort of like what you've seen England do in the past, where they kind of, recently where they've been better, where they've gotten better. Like you think, oh God, they're going to be terrible. The same thing. And as the tournament went on, got better and better and better. So 90 was huge for me because I would have been 11. So right at the age where I'm, really discovering football, and I had the sticker books and everything. And it was a big, it's not that World Cups aren't a big thing now, but like living in England as a kid, it felt like there was nothing bigger than a World Cup at that time, especially. Like there's still a certain song that reminds me of that World Cup. The camera angles and things are different now. Like it doesn't look the same. Like when I watch footage of this old World Cup, it looks like cinematic in a way. It's hard to explain it, but like 1990 was the first one where I realized like, oh, this is like a um, this is almost like a uh, not just a game, but like it's a performance. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's bigger than just a bunch of football games. It was like a whole, the, all of it together, the display of everything, and yeah, it was my first real understanding of how big a tournament it was. And then
It's
England,
also it's also that feeling that, especially when you're younger, and you sometimes get it when you're older as well, I guess. But it's that feeling of that and that connection to, like you said, like that big tournament that you'll always have.
yeah,
But it's that feeling of excitement. Like you probably had the same thing for Star Wars when it first came out or whatever, right? It said, not that I'm comparing the two, but it's just
and I'm not that
what.
old.
Fair enough. Um, yeah, I have a whole bunch of these different feelings, like growing up when I was a kid, and I remember them, and you rarely get them ever anymore, like you did when you were a kid. It's just that
Mhm.
excitement, but I feel like that's probably what you guys all
They
had
s and they
for.
still have it with the World Cup, I think, a certain amount. It's just when you're it might just be because I was a kid, but it felt like a festival. Like,
Mhm.
all the countries were together. I like it when it's in one country like it was when
Yeah.
it was in Italy, like in '90, and it was my first experience of just like, "Oh, wow, this is like a huge event." I guess that's what I mean. It was just the event of it
Mhm.
was really spectacular, and England doing well and sort of discovering my love of football around that time was just really, really great. But then there was '94, which England weren't at, but was in the USA, which was a good tournament. And same sort of thing. The event of it all was, you can't help but get wrapped up in it. But the first World Cup that I was really, really into was '98. So I would have been 19. It was coming off the back of Euro '96, which was hosted in England. So the country just went absolutely fucking bananas for it. It was a really gorgeous summer. Like a lot of people think it was like the last great summer, you know, '96, everything was great. It was the '90s, and music was great. England was sort of ruling the world in a lot of things. Music and movies and things were really, really, we were in a really good place for that. And then we had this football tournament in England again, knocked out on penalties by the Germans in the semi final. Um, Probably should have won. We probably could have won that tournament if we had won that penalty shootout. But again, another heroic performance. And then I remember the '98 World Cup coming off the back of that. The expectations were super high. We had Michael Owen, who was like becoming a superstar. So we had kind of like the wonder kid who showed up huge in the game. And I was also of an age to be able to go drinking in the pub. So it was my first, you know,
Now it all thrown
experiencing that
together.
too, so it was just brilliant. That's my favorite. That was probably my favorite tournament of all the ones that, even the ones since. We've had some good ones, don't get me wrong, but that one was always special for me.
Yeah, I don't have nearly as close of a relationship as you do, obviously. I remember '94. Like, I remember, like, the hand of God because it was televised, over and over, but how it wasn't,
Cheated.
yeah,
You can say it.
he cheated.
Yeah.
Um, '94 just because it was more televised in the States, and then you don't get that same
Yeah.
kind of coverage after that, right? So then for me, it was probably 2006 was the next one that I really remember.
Yep.
So and by then, we were already hanging out, and I
Yep.
was, I'd already picked my team in the Premier League at that point, so
And a lot of the guys that you had been watching in the Premier League during the week were playing
yeah.
in that team, right? It was a good team too.
I finally
2006
had some
was
I finally had a bit of a investment in it, so
good. Mhm.
it was definitely more enjoyable then because I used to just watch it and I didn't care who was playing.
Right,
It was
yeah.
like same as the Premier League. Like before 2004, I didn't care who was. I just flip it on. I'd watch it for like the 90 minutes and then flip on to something else. But
And now you've experienced 20 years of heartbreak, so you're too deep in it now.
well, I figure since I obviously and same as yourself, running around, it can only go up. You know what I mean?
So
I mean,
it has gone up for sure. I saw a huge barren spell. Well, 98, 96, 98 was when we thought we were coming back. 2002, we were okay, got beat by Brazil. And then 2006 was, who did we lose to? Portugal. So, I mean, we were doing all right. We were getting to like a decent level for most of it. And then from like 2008 to 2018, England were horrible, just horrible. So I feel like we've had the last, what, two World Cups have been all right, and a couple of Euros in there where we've got to a couple of finals. So to be an England fan right now, we're in a good place.
Hmm.
It's just hopefully we win something while I was just thinking of Belgium, right? And they'll talk about how they had the best team in the world for a number of years there.
Yeah,
Didn't do anything with it. And
they were
maybe,
close. Like they had good runs, just
yeah,
never
I
capitalized on
worry
them.
a bit that we blow it all on, get into a couple finals and then that's it. But I don't think so. The future looks rosy. We've got a lot of good players.
Would you say it's fair that at the beginning of this tournament that everyone, like most English fans, seem to feel like, yeah, we're not going to win, so whatever. And
This
then
one?
it's yeah, and
No,
then no,
no.
I felt like that's what it was like. And then as they progressed on, I was like, you know what? Because I feel like a lot of people didn't really trust Tuchel.
Well, I think before the tournament, I think there was a lot of, we've got too good of a team to not be good. But then we had a couple dodgy friendlies and things like that where we didn't look that great. But that's what friendlies are for. Like tournament football is different. And
Yeah, but you could
then,
say the same thing about 2006. England had a completely stacked
yeah,
team, like way more stacked than it is now.
yeah. No, I'd
And
say that's the last time that it felt like this, where we were going into a tournament like we can hold our own with any of these teams. And I thought that in 2006 as well. It just, the only difference is, and this is all speculation on my part, but I think it seems like this team's just a more unified from what you see of them right now. And maybe it's just you didn't see all this behind the scenes stuff in 2006, so maybe it was the same. But it just seems like the attitude's better for a lot of these players. They don't seem to have that club mentality that you keep kind of hearing about with 2006. Um, but I don't know. Uh, I think a lot of people would look at this team. It got a bit iffy there because Tuchel picked a weird squad to go, and I think people immediately, especially the English, they do go into, well, that's it, we're out
yeah.
already because they didn't pick Cole Palmer or Harry Maguire or whatever.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like in the beginning, like just with the team that he
Yeah,
picked, they're like, ah, well, it was. I just felt like that was kind of like the vibe. Like even like in the social media posts that you would see, like they didn't understand what Tuchel was doing. But I had this conversation with someone a while ago that he didn't necessarily pick the people that everyone said, well, oh, he's the best in this position. He's the best in this position. Well, he's picking people that he thinks is best for his style of play and what he wants and what he needs from everybody. They might not gel well together, so he picked the people that he wanted because I know these people will get the job done.
yeah, you hope so. I mean, we should probably say that we're having this chat 2 hours before England play Norway. So as it stands right now, I think he's done a really, really good job of who he picked and the
Mhm.
substitutions he's made. And there's been a few of the players where, you know, people were laughing because he took Jed Spence and he took Dan Burn and he took a few of these guys that people would never have taken. And I was saying it too. I think everyone was. But he started to prove us wrong that you got a place. This guy has a time and a place for this big
Well,
defender or this, nippy little winger or whatever.
yeah, the big defender definitely helps when they're winging in from the corners, right? So
Do you see he did a headed clearance that went from our own box past the halfway line? I love that. Like, you know what? I'm bring him forever now. Like,
yeah, well, that's
I'm
what you needed, especially when you're in like the last 10
yeah,
minutes and you just need to defend, right? So
yeah,
one of the things that I did really like, and we've talked about this before, is that unlike Southgate, who would wait until it was too late to make any changes,
uh-huh,
Tuchel reacts really fast and he
yeah.
would go ahead and make those changes because you're like, all right, we need to get somebody else on, and then he would do it almost instantly, almost like he was listening to us.
I think that's just a sign of a better manager. Like
Mhm.
Southgate, for all the
He was
good
good.
that Southgate did, got us to two finals, a semi-final, quarter-final. Um, coming off that 10-year Bayern spell where we were awful, losing to Iceland right before he came on board. He definitely, like, you can't fault that he made the team better. It's just he's not a tactical. I mean, I don't even know. I think I want to say he was maybe the Middlesbrough manager. like he's not even Premier League like level. Like he's kind of a mid-level Premier League at best, I think.
Well, I
He
mean, to be fair,
got
it's
relegated in the Premier League when he was the manager, I think. I don't. Well, that just goes to show how I can't remember. Like that goes to show how memorable his managerial career was
yeah.
at club level, right? But I mean, he was suited to a national team, I think. And I mean, if what's out there is to be believed, he was the one that got the attitudes right and threw out the whole club by like the teams being biased to their club and not gelling because of club rivalries and stuff like that. It seemed like he got rid of that, which is if you're Tuchel, you're walking into a pretty good starting
Hmm.
11, really, right? Um, but also Tuchel, he's won Champions League, like he was the manager of Paris and he's managed Bayern Munich up until recently. Like he was the guy who brought Harry Kane to Munich. Like
Hmm.
when they announced him, I was pretty pleased. Like I thought he was probably the best of what we could get and saw potential in it because of what we're sort of seeing now. Like
Oh, and
what
he's been there at the top for the big tournaments and stuff, right? Where that's where Southgate kind of lacked.
like managers like that, what? Rather, we played Norway to get today, and if we were 2-0 down, heaven forbid,
Mm,
going into the last portion of the game, I want someone that's gonna. I used to like that about Mourinho. Mourinho seemed to just be like, "Fuck it, like let's do it."
mhm,
This didn't. I don't want a manager that's afraid to try something. And that game against Mexico really seemed to show that he's got balls.
mhm,
I think some of the changes he's made and what he's done. And I think we all sat there and were like, "Why is he bringing on so and so?"
mhm.
And then at the end of the game, we're like, "Well, that's why he did it. It's
Yeah,
what he was doing."
yeah. Whereas that was where Southgate kind of lacked, right? And maybe that even comes from like even as a player, he didn't play for that great of clubs. Like he played for Villa, so there's a nice little shot for Butler just to see if he's listening, and if he is, I'm sure I'll get a text.
No, he was a good player. It's just what the thing I would like to have seen with Southgate, which I mean, if you have the options of a great tactical manager or this, you're gonna. I want to pick the tactical one, but the thing with Southgate, it would have been nice for it to see him kind of overcome the demon of '96, where he missed the penalty, and that penalty shoot against Italy would have been perfect, right? It would have been so nice to see us win that one and him put that ghost to bed of missing the penalty and us winning the Euro. And but, I mean, it didn't happen, and then I just didn't see us getting any better. I think we kind of hit the pinnacle of what we were going to do with him. I don't think, maybe this is unfair, but I don't think we would have won that game against Mexico with Southgate. I don't know if we would have won the game against Congo
Yeah.
with Southgate, to be honest. I don't. Especially if we were in a similar positions and opposition was playing the same way. Whereas I'm hoping under Tuchel that if we do get past Norway and we have to play in Argentina, for example, I want Argentina to fear us.
Hmm.
You know, that's what I want to see. I want England to be the team that everyone else is scared of because we haven't had that in a long, long time.
Can you imagine if Haaland actually had played for England since he was
Yeah,
born
I
in
was
England?
watching something yesterday, and I guess he was born in Leeds, which obviously makes him eligible, but he was only in England for like 3 years or something, and spent the bulk of his growing up in Norway, and he seems pretty proud of that. So
Hmm.
I won't I won't think too harshly of him for not picking
No,
England. I think he did it.
I wouldn't fault him for it either. I'm just saying, like, can you imagine how England would be though if you had Haaland up front?
Yeah, he's watching Harry Kane from the bench.
That I doubt.
It's a good job I don't have to prove that, but yeah, I don't know. I think King's is good. Actually, I think King can do more than Haaland. I just think Haaland's he's a blunt. What's it? A blunt.
Blunt instrument.
Yeah. Right. That's what he is.
I think it would have been good to say like you had Harry Kane on for the first half, and then you brought
Well,
Haaland
imagine
on for
that.
the
Yeah, exactly. Right.
because Harry Kane's not getting any younger, and
No.
he's obviously not going to have the same pace as he would in the second half
Oh,
as he would the
if
first.
I
But
thought Haaland was like that, we had him waiting to just take the number 9.
yeah,
Great would that be? But I don't know. We'll see. There's always someone new up and coming, and it typically works out pretty well that when one retires, we get another one sort of fill the spot. So we'll see. But it'd be nice to have got a World Cup or a Euro or something before then. I think
Yeah.
Harry's probably got one. Well, I imagine as long as he's fit, he should still be eligible for the next Euro, maybe the next World Cup.
I know we always talk about this because he looks way older than he is,
He's only
but
like 31.
Jesus, he looks like he's mid
Yeah,
40s.
no. I think he's 30. I could be wrong, but I think yeah, I think he's still potentially got another World Cup in him.
And to be fair, like his style of play, it's like, I mean, Haaland should be able to play for a long time too, because for the same reason. But like Messi and those guys, they loiter, and
Yeah.
then I mean, Kane does obviously come back quite far. So I mean, what he plays kind of like a false nine a lot of the time, and then he has to do a little bit more running, right? But um,
No,
he could just loiter, like, the older he gets, right? And
yeah,
still, because at that point, it's about being smart and knowing
that's
when and where to go, right?
I think that's the thing, right? Like, he's never been the fastest. His
No.
pace he's never had pace, so, I mean, it's not like that's something he's potentially got to lose, but he's a smart player,
Mhm.
which is those are the players that go on forever, right? The
Yeah.
ones that read the game well and play the game well. I wouldn't wanna see him do a Ronaldo. I'd rather him retire before he gets, into his 40s, but, I'd be quite happy to see that Harry Kane, if he's still fit, to go to at least one more of these
Yeah.
and still be good.
Yeah.
It seems like he's in his prime right now with all the goals he scored for Munich this year, getting the England World Cup record this tournament. Like, I don't think there's any doubt that he's won. He's up there in terms of England's best ever. He'll get knighted soon enough. He will, I think.
Sir Kane.
Oh yeah, he'll get it. He's
Let's
done a
see.
lot.
Just looking up the, Golden Boot race. Is it at 7 or 8 now?
I think Mbappe's got 8, maybe. I think Messi might have 8 too. I think Kane's got 6,
Yeah, Mbappe and, Messi both have 8.
right? And Kane's got 6,
Yeah,
and Haaland's got 7.
7.
Yeah. So I mean, they're all in there. I mean, that's the last thing I'm worried about is will Kane get. I'm sure that's probably the last thing he's worried about as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's already got one. At the end of the day,
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it's always still in the back of your mind after you score.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I'm one closer."
yeah. And I mean, obviously, just getting to go further and further into it helps
Yeah,
with that. So I mean, if Kane doesn't get it and England get knocked out tonight, for example, I'd like to see Haaland get it. I think
yeah.
he's really become a superstar.
It's funny, I've kind of, pulled a 180. It used to always be for me, like, in any sport, whichever team knocked me out, I wanted them out. Now I've kind of reversed, like, as long as they beat, like, the team that you're cheering for fairly, I guess,
Mhm.
why not let them go all the way? Because then you can say, "Well, that was the team that we lost to."
Yeah, they seem like a likable team as well.
Well, Haaland is just like, well, even on his own, right? So, always goofing around, and he
Yeah,
seems happy, so
yeah. No, they're good. They seem like a really really good team. And I don't know. It's hard to say if they've overachieved because they beaten Brazil. They beat Brazil pretty handily.
yeah.
Like
But
they
Brazil's
don't
one of
play
those teams.
well.
Brazil's one of those teams, though, that people just remember the name, and they aren't the team that they used
Nah,
to
but
be.
it's a shell of the Brazil that
Yeah,
I grew
just
up with.
just like Germany. Germany's got that scary aspect to their name, and
Yeah.
they're not there anymore.
Yeah, and there's we're starting to see a little bit of that now with some of these. I was thinking that about the Netherlands too, where I don't know if they maybe need to figure themselves out a little bit because they're always there or thereabouts, and they did well in the last World Cup. I think they got knocked out by Argentina in like the semis, maybe quarters or something. Quarters, I think.
They should go back to being
They
called
need,
Holland.
yeah, they should be better than they are. It's just a shame that Scotland didn't qualify for this World Cup.
Oh, they didn't, did they?
I don't remember.
Uh,
Weeks ago now.
your love of Scotland astounds me.
Yeah. That seems like a month. It probably was a month ago now, right? When they scored their goal.
Yeah. That would have been week 1, right? Oh, their one and only goal. that was
Deflected.
and topped on the ball. It was an accidental smash.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. So what's your prediction for today, goal wise, and then what's your prediction for who you think we'll see in the final match?
Prediction for today. I don't know. I'm starting to get my legs twitching as we speak. I'm starting to get a little nervous,
you-
but I don't think this is going to be a very easy game, to be honest. And what scares me is we're coming off that Mexico performance, which honestly was probably the best England. It's probably the most fun I've had watching England in 30 years. Actually, this is a France '98 shirt with Michael Owen on it. And the game that Michael Owen we got knocked out by Argentina in 1998 was always my favorite England game, even though we lost. It was just a really good England performance, and we should have won it. And David Beckham got sent off, and it was just a lot of drama. And I always look at that one as just a great game of football to watch. Like it was just that everyone left everything out there. And this Mexico game was probably the closest one I've seen to that. It was so good. So I feel like coming off of that, maybe my worry is that we're going to be a little bit overconfident, like kind of like what we did with the Croatia game, the first game we played, where we looked really, really good. And everyone was saying, this is going to be easy. And then we drew against Ghana and looked pretty mediocre. I can't afford to do that. But it's knockout now. So, I mean, you would think that the mentality is going to be a bit different. I don't know. Like, when you get to this stage, if there are teams where if you underestimate what they can do, they hurt you. Like, there's a reason why Norway's in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Capable of scoring goals. Should we beat them? To go back to my prediction, should we beat them? Yeah. On paper, we got a way better team. I mean, way everywhere. Haaland's really, not to disrespect like Norway, but Haaland's probably the only player that could get in the England team.
Yeah.
I think.
And he's kind of dragged them through so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some other good players and they've done well, but I think it still comes down to him.
Odegaard and him are the two main ones. If we can kind of keep them quiet, then it shouldn't be. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a problem. It's not going to be. I again don't think it's going to be easy. But I mean, would I rather be playing Norway at this stage than Spain or France or?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like
that's an easy question to answer.
Exactly. So, goal prediction. I can see them scoring, I think 2-1.
2-1?
It's going to be tight.
I think it's going to be 3-2.
Okay.
England.
Yeah.
Well, just in case I placed a bet. Well, I placed a bet at the beginning of the World Cup anyways to who would be in the quarters, but just yesterday there's one that came across and I was like, this goes against what I want, but at least then I've got bets going both ways. And it pays out way more if Norway goes through, but obviously I'd rather it the other way. But just what you're saying about Ghana, I think that one there's an unfair look at what England can do, because when you're playing against a team that's playing for a draw and they've got 10 men in the box, it's almost impossible to score against. So,
and we saw it with the Congo game too, but with it being knockout, we knew we had to, again, Tuchel. We went for it because of probably what he said and the changes he made.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the result in the end. So our defense is it worries me a little bit. We've conceded a lot of goals.
Well, to be fair, there isn't a team in this tournament that I don't think the back line looks good. They all look a little dodgy at times.
Yeah.
And most of them, I think most of them are requiring their forwards to do all the jobs for them to bail them out.
Yeah. So I think we're playing Vindaloo football right now, which is we'll score one more than you, is what it feels like.
Those are the ones that scare me, because when they go in with that attitude, it's usually score one and then they just start defending really hard, and I hate that. Just keep going forward.
Yeah.
Just keep the ball out of your end by going forward, and then you don't have to worry about there's stupid mistakes, right? So
I hope this is an attacking, exciting game.
Mm-hmm.
Might be. I mean, it would be nice if England are 3-0 up at halftime and we're cruising and, we could a couple of our guys that have yellow cards that could potentially miss a semi-final, take them off
Mhm.
earlier than planned and things like that. That would be spectacular to see that happen. The amount of times I can count that has happened in a tournament is very rare. We beat Sweden pretty handily in 2018, I remember, which was one of the more comfortable ones. And that wasn't overly comfortable, but I think we beat them 2-0. And we beat Ukraine in one of the Euros 4-0. I think that was in a quarterfinal. That was the only game I can think of in recent memory that counted, like a knockout one, where at halftime I thought, this is over. But other than that, just I'll be shitting bricks for at least probably close to 100 minutes, I'm sure.
What's
More.
I feel like everything right now in the media is about FIFA and the whole Egypt team and them complaining. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, FIFA's massively corrupt in every area.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this. That whole nonsense with the USA red card and that being, was it postponed or it wasn't rescinded, was it? It was.
No, it was postponed 1 year, and like
Mm.
Rooney said halftime things where they were talking about it, and he's like, what does that even mean? Like you postpone it 1 year to when it's just friendlies and there's no qualifications even
No.
at that point. So even if it was putting it to a qualification, like that doesn't mean anything. And then you've gone against everything that
They
the
might as well just wipe it
tournament
off
stands for. Yeah.
at this point. So knowing how stupid FIFA just is with I don't know, it just seems super dodgy. The argument you're saying is that Argentina are getting we're getting the calls against Egypt. That was what they were mad about,
Yeah.
right? They had a goal disallowed. That seemed like a pretty good goal. I didn't see the game, but I saw bits and pieces of the highlights. I don't know. Do I think it's rigged? I don't know. How easy is it to rig these things? I think at the end of the day, Egypt fell apart. I think they should have done better. I mean, they put themselves in a position to win that game, and then I don't think the referee, had a massive influence on them conceding 3 goals in 10 minutes or something
Yeah.
stupid like that.
Well,
They should have done better.
they were up 2-0 until what was it, the 78th minute or something? And at that
Yeah.
point, so I thought the game was over,
No,
to be
yeah,
honest with you.
exactly, right? Better teams got to close out that game,
Yeah.
and they didn't. So, do Egypt have a fair shout at being unfairly done? Not really, I don't think. I mean, there are going to be decisions that are going to go the way of an Argentina or possibly France, possibly in England. I don't know, because I do think there is a level of it'd be nice for viewing and things like that. Like you
Mhm.
see it in some of the American sports, I think, where there are certain like geographical areas that would be better for the finals of the NBA, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like New York or whatever, they know that they'll get the viewers will be huge, or I'm sure probably for the Super Bowl and things like that. Like no one probably wants to watch Utah
Yeah.
play in, I don't know, Columbus or something. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like
Are we talking basketball now or?
bit of both. But you know what I mean? Like I'm sure New York versus LA or Boston or whatever. There's always more draw in that with the fans. That's true of football. Like you've seen how many people are just like, oh, Argentina's my team, who've never been to Argentina, probably couldn't tell you where Argentina is on a map. They just know that Messi's their social media. They like his social media or whatever. They know that he's famous or
Yeah.
they got a big following. The crowds are always going to be full for the Argentina games. And they know that.
Well, with how much they're charging, I don't know my phone, but my brother-in-law sent me a text message. He asked me what I was doing next week, and then he was joking about going to the final.
Yeah.
It was like $26,000. You can't tell me. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the pricing. Obviously, this is not FIFA's charging way too much for it to begin with, and we said this before, but they're trying to say that money goes back into grassroots programs, but then they're taking away from the grassroots people to even be able to go and watch a tournament.
Yeah.
Like, most people can't afford these prices.
Yeah. It's
So
like the
you're-
Premier League now. Average Premier League tickets priced out the regular fan that used to go every week.
Mhm.
I think if you supported Man City, who were pretty dog shit up until what 15 years ago, whatever it
Yeah.
was, um, had a pretty loyal fan base of just your working man that would work a week. I know it sounds cheesy, but like work a week to go to the football on the Saturday, and that
Yep.
was their thing. Those aren't the guys that are going now. It's
No.
all corporate nonsense and businessmen who got tickets and ticket or the season ticket holders, and God knows how much a season ticket is for a place like that, but it's
Well,
probably expensive.
I feel like I have these arguments with people all the time in like all sorts of different sports, and like people are justifying saying that a player is worth $15 million. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not even worth $1 million. The problem is that these corporations are allowing this to happen, and these managers and um, agents and all this stuff. I get they're just trying to get paid and they want that big bucks, but that's at the price of the fans. Because now those, like you just said, you're pricing them out to only the rich can now go and see
Yeah.
this stuff. And so the rich can get rich, the rich can watch, and the average Joe who's working, like you said, 5, 6 days a week so that they can go to the football on Sunday, and now they can't afford it.
That's not what it
So,
used to be, but that's the world we live in now,
yep, money, money, money.
and that's why I barely watch like the domestic leagues and stuff. It just bores me.
hmm Well, and
It's sterile now.
I don't think they have it in football, but I mean, in some of the other sports where now the players want to, on top of that $15 million that they get, they also want a piece of the profits that the owners have. I'm like, well, again, if the owner's making less money, who's going to hurt in the end? The
Yeah,
guy at the
ticket
bottom.
prices and everything will go up. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard to moan at the players because they're trying to get as much as they can in what's basically a short career.
Yeah.
But the money side of it's gotten. I mean, this isn't anything new. This has been going this way for years and years and years. But it's the money side's gotten insane,
Yeah. It's just dumb.
and I think it makes the end product worse
Mhm.
at the end of the day.
Even just look at like when was the last time that you went and saw a price at one of the stadiums for how much a football shirt is?
Yeah.
Was it £100, £150 now?
I think a football shirt is, yeah, I don't think it's much less than £100.
Yeah, that's ridiculous for. And I mean, I could see more if it was like a hockey jersey because there's way more goes into those.
Yeah.
But you're just paying for the name on the outside of the shirt in the end of the day, I guess, right? So
Everything's gone up, and you're right. Everything hurts the fan.
Mhm.
It seems to anyway.
So yeah, it is what it is, I guess, right?
I'm in charge.
Yeah, bankrupt everything. Oh, oh well. Oh, like you said, we got England in 2 hours, so we need to go and get primed.
Yeah.
Go and see
Nervy.
what Keith's up to, and stick to the regular plan since all the other England games have gone our way. So superstition goes a long way. So same shirts, same venue,
Who's
same,
going to score?
same seating.
You said 3-2.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Kane 1, Bellingham 2.
I'm going with it. Huh?
Yeah,
Flame 2 is normal. Okay.
and we'll say Holland will get both of theirs.
Yeah, I think if Norway scores, I can't see anyone other than Haaland getting it unless maybe a free kick or something. But because he just seems like their target for everything up front.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, this feels ripe for someone new to score. Don't
Yeah.
know why. Got a funny feeling this could be I don't know. Maybe we see defender from a corner or something. I can see someone else getting in on the action because it's
Just
been the
slipping one in.
Bellingham and Kane show
Yeah.
the whole tournament, right?
Well, and they could very well just try and shut those two guys down, just like England's going to try and shut down
You
Haaland,
would
right?
think
So,
that's going to be their entire.
yeah,
It'd be stupid not to make that your entire tactics.
yeah. But how many times
Annoying.
have you seen Haaland throughout the tournament wide open?
Yeah.
No one marking him at all. Or if they are marking him, they're marking him from like 15, 20 feet
Well,
away.
even Harry Kane. I think we were watching one of the I can't remember what game it was. The one where he scored the header from the corner.
Mm.
Paraguay, I think it was. And no one marked him. And even the commentator said, like, it's almost like they don't know who he is. It's like, of course he's going to score. Like, you leave him wide open in the like in the box. He's
Yeah.
gonna score a header. He's one of the best headers of the ball. So
You know what
yeah,
you know what I miss from, tournaments last is when England had that weird, it'd be a corner and England had that weird
line up.
lineup. Yeah,
Yeah, that
and then
was
all of a sudden just go
that was like
bonkers.
their that was a
That was a
yeah.
Southgate thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I liked it.
2018, yeah, it was all of a sudden like they had a tactic on corners. I remember us watching it and like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah,
It worked too.
somebody else did it, this tournament, not to the same extent, but pretty close. They were all
Yeah,
together and then they all split, which
yeah.
was kind of
Well, the tournament before that, the 2016 Euro, we lost to Iceland, and Harry Kane was taking the corners. So the fact that when we came back in 2018 and we actually had a plan for corners, it was like, all right, we're already better than we. This is already better than the entirety of the last tournament that
yeah.
we seem a bit more organized. So that was it. I think that might have actually been the you've just pinpointed the exact moment where I think we looked at each other, and I'm sure we were a few other people, and like we could be good. Like we
Mhm.
look better. We look like this is a different new look England team.
Yeah.
So
A little bit of strategy was lacking
exactly,
before.
yeah, not just relying on like 3 superstar midfielders to do everything.
Yeah. Alright. Well, guess we should probably head over.
Right.
Um, got anything else? Oh, sorry, we forgot your prediction for the final.
Position for the final.
Which 2 teams will be in there?
I mean, I like to see England in there. It's looking like if England beat Norway, most likely is going to be Argentina, which is going to be tough. You got to believe that they can do it. So I'm going to say England. I have the belief. Was it France, Spain? Does France play Spain next game in the semis, right?
Um,
France are playing Spain, and this just happened,
yeah, France and Spain.
right? I think it's got to be France.
I think so too. I think it'll be
I'd rather England play Spain in the final, but I think it's going to be France look good. I still am not fully convinced that I've said France from day one, and there's a part of me that's still like, unfortunately, I still think if I was to, bet my mortgage on it, it'd be hard to go against France. But
yeah,
my gut says that England have got a shot. They
yeah.
get past this, and they look good today. I think we go into the next one. I mean, it'd be Switzerland or Argentina, looking like a danger. If we can go into that game looking dangerous, who knows? Who knows? We're getting better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be, England and France.
That
So
will be a nervy
mhm.
build. That Wednesday to if we make it and the semifinals Wednesday and we win the semifinal, and I know we've got what's that one Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days of I'll have to be drunk those entire 3 days. I think that's gonna be absolutely nerve wracking. I was nervous about playing France in the last World Cup. We gave them a good go. I thought they were at points we were by far the better team. But I don't know. France is a different beast in the final, I think.
Mhm.
I
I
don't
know.
want to think about it at this point. It's
I think I'm figure out a way to shut down Mbappe. Like I know that they've got other guys that have good firepower as well, but just I think he's the difference maker on that team. So
yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough, but also, I mean, from having 30 years of really not doing a lot in these tournaments or going out early, it's always nice to. And we were laughing about Scotland being out a month ago. It is nice to make it pretty much to the end.
mhm.
In the last, what, 4 major tournaments we've been to, we've either got to the very, very end or we've come within a week of the end or a couple games from the end. It's nothing worse than being a team that goes out in the group stage or the round of 16, and then you've still got 2, sometimes 3, 4 weeks of, well, now with all these extra teams, at least 3 weeks of games to go, and you're watching it, with nothing, got no skin in the game at that point, and I'm just glad that I would have been disappointed. Going out in the quarterfinals will be disappointing with the team we've got, But the quarterfinals we should at the very least have made the quarterfinals. So we've gotten as far as I've been like, we have to at least get here. So it's not a disappointment yet, but we've done, we've done a job. Let's finish it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we need to go and start by finishing one game at a time.
What is it? 1, 2, 3 more games.
Yeah.
I'm nervous now. Talking
Is it
about
3
this
more?
game's making me nervous. Yeah,
It is 3
we
more,
got
isn't
3
it?
more away, and then the semi-final, and then the final.
Yeah. All right.
I just feel like I don't want to jinx anything.
No,
It
of
feels
course
like
not.
you go too far. You start planning too far ahead, and
Yeah, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment at that point.
When you listen back to this, too.
Yeah, that's every podcast though when they're talking about sports that
I
are
never listened
upcoming.
to it.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to figure out which day it is that we're going to do the next one. Rather be quick and right away if England wins, and if they lose, then it might
You're
be
on your own. You'll be doing the next ones on your own.
You'll just be drunk. You won't even remember.
To do James Bond.
Yep.
Right.
All right.
Cheerio.
Yep. And we'll talk to everybody next time.